Jerry Jones and Zeke, they're still at it, Rob. Obviously, no contract signed.
Back
and it seems like this is weird. And every other day, Jerry Jones is making a comment. Why not just be quiet about it? And again, Rob, let's listen to it first, and then I'll give you my view.
We don't have anything to report on our contract negotiation. We have to be prepared to be trite. We have to be prepared to play without any given player. We may very well play without a player that is not coming in on his contract. We've got a marathon here, and we want Zeke when we get to the playoffs. We want Zeke when we're in the dog days of this season. Fresh Zeke, as we got on into the end of the season, would be great.
What? What is he talking about? Maybe you won't make the playoffs without Zeke. How dare you assume you're automatically making the playoffs, Jerry Jones? How dare you put that in the atmosphere in the universe? I hope you don't make the playoffs just for that. Counting your chickens before they hatch. How dare you? Sound the alarm.
Rob, I've been saying since Zeke held out, since he started the holdout, I've been saying, I think the Cowboys, I think Jerry Jones is willing to enter the regular season and see if they really need Zeke. I'm with you. I think he's the best running back in the league. I think that they do need him to have a chance to win a Super Bowl. But I do believe Jerry Jones is willing to engage in a game of chicken. They play the Giants. They play the Redskins. They play the Dolphins over the first 3 weeks of the seasons. 3 teams that you can beat. You should, even without Zeke, you should come out of that no worse than 2-1. If you're really a Super Bowl contender, no worse than 2-1. And Stephen Jones, director of player personnel, he's handling a lot of this. They have dropped some analytical gems in this whole thing with Zeke. You know that. And that's what got me to thinking, I think they're ready to play hardball. It started with Jerry saying you don't need a league-leading rusher to win a Super Bowl, which is true. The Cowboys needed it with Emmitt Smith, but outside of that, you typically don't need that. And they're looking at the analytics, and here's what the analytics, not the eye test, because like I said, with my eyes, Zeke is the best running back in the NFL. But the analytics say this: his wins above replacement, 0.2. The analytics say this: his value rushing to close out a game, meaning you got the lead and you want to hand it to your bell cow, your running back, and let him run out the clock, milk the clock, keep the other team's offense off the field. He's ranked 22nd among running backs in that category. In the red zone, his red zone efficiency, 16th in the league among running backs. Short yardage value, meaning when you need 3 yards or less to get a first down, Zeke is 10th in the NFL. And I'm just saying, they're looking at these analytics and they're saying, you know what? We might not need Zeke. We might not. Now, I think they do. But I think these analytics, combined with Tony Pollard's playing fairly well in the preseason, combined with the weak schedule to start the season, has the Cowboys thinking, we'll give it a shot. And when we're 2-1 or 3-0 and Tony Pollard's looking good, Zeke is going to have no choice but to come back and be the second highest paid running back in the league.
If Jerry Jones,
I think that's what they're thinking.
If Jerry Jones and the Cowboys do this, it will be the worst decision that they've ever made. Jerry's already proven that he can't win since Jimmy Johnson left. They've won 2 playoff games in 25 or 26 years. They finally have a squad together. You could throw out all those analytics all you want. My eye test tells me that the Cowboys are better with Ezekiel Elliott. My eye test. I don't want to hear about all these other phony numbers. Everybody's the same people who try to make it that The Pittsburgh Steelers did the right thing last year.
They did.
No, they didn't, Chris. They didn't even make the damn playoffs.
Hurt. Stop it.
They didn't make the
Before
playoffs.
James Conner
They
got
didn't
hurt,
make
they were
the
rolling
playoffs.
like a train.
You hear me? Stop it.
You
it was
stop
a failure.
You need another example,
It was
son.
a failure.
You need another example. And I'm on your side with Zeke, but give me another example.
No, I'm not. Because it's about making the playoffs. And I'm telling you right here, right now, the Cowboys do not, N-O-T, make the playoffs without Ezekiel Elliott. They will not, Chris. I'll bet you 100 wings. If he sits out the year, the Cowboys will not make the playoffs. Pollard Schmollard. Are you kidding me? I'm not buying that. These preseason never was. They don't even play any of the real players. You're going to tell me that you're banking on Pollard to do something with the Cowboys. Jerry Jones must be crazy. Jerry Jones is crazy.
I think, now look, they may get a deal done tomorrow for all I know.
Well, but we're talking about it today.
But I'm just saying, I think that the Cowboys, from all that they've said, from all the analytics, I think they're willing to test it. And Jerry Jones said it a few weeks ago. In the regular season, when the real games start, that's when the leverage is going to swing. If they win and the running game and the offense look good, the leverage is going to be heavily in the Cowboys' favor. If they win or lose and the offense looks bad, then it's all Zeke, and I think he'll be back as the highest paid running back in the league. But I think the Cowboys are willing to test it. And I got to be honest, as much as I hope Zeke gets his money, if I were in Jerry Jones' shoes, I would be willing to test it too. I don't know about for 3 weeks, but certainly for 1 week.
You talking about the same guy who's pushing 90, trying to win another championship.
Is he even 80? I don't even think he's 80.
Close to 80. He just looks like he's 90. But he's trying to win another championship to prove that he can he's run the Dallas Cowboys like a mom and pop store.
He's 76 years old.
I said
he's
close
in
to
your
80.
ballpark. He's in your generation.
Ballpark. What are you talking about? Hey, what you talking about, Willis? What do you mean? You must be crazy. I'm the best looking 70-some-odd-year-old in this country.
I'll give you that.
Yes, Big
I'll
Daddy.
give you that.
And so I think they'd be making a big mistake. And Jerry's crazy. And I do want to say one more thing before we get to let everybody chime in, Chris, is that Scott Shapiro, our boss, said no way, no how did he go to Ithaca. He went to Emory University in Atlanta. So let's just clear that up.
All right.
And he's not on the take. He said that too. Wow.
Is Jerry playing hardball with Zeke a smart move or a dumb one? Let's see what the listeners think. 877-99 on Fox.
All right, let's start it off. Kick it off with JoJo in Maine. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, JoJo?
Hey, guys. Love the show. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great.
Great, man. How are you?
Doing great. First off, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I don't want people to think it's just somebody saying it that, that doesn't have their best interest in their heart. You know what I mean? So, y'all remember Herschel Walker, of course.
Yep.
Okay. And as much as I hate to agree anything what Doug Gottlieb says, he does make a point about Khalil Mack and the money. You can't do anything with the team if one player's stuck in it dry. So, as much as he deserves because he's leading, you can't take that much money and win. Look at Tom Brady. He deserves more than he was getting, and he took a cut to make sure he could build a team around him. My point is I think we got 2 years left. We look at one of these teams we know that's not going to be good for the next 4 years, and we get all their first-round picks and build a new dynasty, baby. I love the show. I'm going to hang up and listen.
I can't buy that. You've gone 25 years without winning, and you've won 2 playoff games. You talking about next time? Are you kidding me? Jerry Jones don't have next time.
I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't be shocked if that's somewhere in the back of their mind.
I don't believe that they could do that.
Because remember, what propelled them to those 3 championships Jerry did win? That Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah, but Jerry wasn't running the place. I'm just saying. I don't think Jerry and Steven can really look at it that way, especially his dad now 25 years later. That's all, Chris.
He's only 76.
Okay. What do you mean
that ain't that old?
Yes, that is. That is. Danny.
You knocking on 76's door.
Whatever, stop it. Danny in Nevada, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Danny?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing great.
What's happening, man?
Good. So I think that by Jerry doing that is a good idea. How are you going to reward somebody on a 2-year contract? You know what I mean? You keep giving up Prescott a bad name. All he's done is since he's been in the league, he's won 35 games. I say you smoke out Zeke, franchise tag him, and let him know who's boss.
Hey, I know Jerry. I'm sure he's upset that Zeke did this with 2 years left on his deal, Rob.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's in a different situation because of what happens to running backs. That's why he's not in camp. That's why he's doing it. I have no issue with Zeke doing what he's doing. I'm sorry. I just don't.
I don't. I get it. I think
it's
you're
just
right.
Totally
the CBA
different.
screws running backs, but I also, if I'm in Jerry Jones's shoes, like I said, I'm trying to look at it from both sides. If I'm in his shoes, I understand it. I do. I would do the same thing. I would test it. See what we look like against the Giants, the Redskins, if necessary.
I just hope they test it and lose the first 3 games. That would be the greatest scenario.
I don't think they'd let it go 3.
Why
if
not?
they lost the first 2, maybe even the first 1.
And all the stuff they're throwing out, they sound like they don't need him at all. So
I think
just
that's
move forward.
I agree that that's
Just
what
move
they're saying.
forward.
It's
So
negotiations.
act like they don't need him.
Well, they're going to see. I think they're willing to test it.
Is this Andres? How do you say it? Andreas, I'm sorry. In Mississippi, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Hi, Andreas. What's up?
Not much. How y'all doing today?
Doing great.
What's up, man?
Hey, where are you in Mississippi? I've never been there.
I'm in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Hattiesburg.
It's about an hour and a half north of New Orleans.
Okay, cool.
All right, go ahead.
So we're University of Southern Mississippi, where Brett Favre went to school.
All right, that's what's up.
Go ahead. What's your point?
Okay, I think Jerry Jones is kind of crazy for thinking that the Cowboys offense can be successful without Ezekiel Elliott. And here's why. Because all the players that are surrounding Ezekiel Elliott, no disrespect to any of them, but they're kind of mediocre whenever you consider the other teams that are in the league, like the Kansas City Chiefs, Pittsburgh Steelers, the Los Angeles Rams. These are teams that have Tier 1 players, multiple Tier 1 players on their team. And if you look at the Steelers from last year, I think the reason why they could do without Le'Veon Bell is because they had other players on their team that can make up for that slack. And
they didn't make the playoffs, though. They didn't make the playoffs.
Rob, stop it. You know they looked fine until Connor got hurt.
They didn't make the playoffs. It's a fact.
Because he got hurt. That's why. You going to keep beating that drum?
They make the playoffs.
Right.
They didn't make the playoff. Thanks for the call. Sean in Sacramento, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
What's up, Rob? What's up, CB, man? How y'all doing today?
Doing
What's
great.
happening, man?
So I just want to make a quick little point. First of all, man, how y'all leave Eddie George off the list of great light-skinned running backs?
Is he light-skinned or is he brown?
Rob's got a different definition of light-skinned.
You think?
He got great eyes, man. How much more light-skinned can you be?
Sean, you think OJ's light-skinned? Be honest.
OJ's about the same color as Eddie George.
Light-skinned as far as what, him or his women?
Oh, stop. That's
it depends, man. I mean, really, like a lot of dudes would say OJ's light skin. I wouldn't necessarily. Obviously, I'm coming from a whole different perspective on what light skin is. But a lot of dudes would. You know that a lot of blacks would.
All right.
Go ahead,
So
Sean,
the point I want to make real quick, man, is I get how irreplaceable Zeke looks, but look at the last time it was a guaranteed starter that got replaced, man. Tony Romo was thought to be, the last hope for Dallas as far as quarterbacks. He goes down, and Dak steps in without missing a beat.
They haven't won anything with Dak. Stop it. They haven't won anything.
He has a better winning percentage than Tony Romo.
Tony Romo won a playoff game too, Chris.
In 20 years or whatever it was.
No, it wasn't. He won one. He won.
Yeah, in 21.
They beat the Lions.
15 years?
They beat the Lions. I remember.
Me, Rob G, and the accounting crew could beat the Lions.
Would you stop ripping on Detroit?
Sad football franchise. I can't even believe you brought up the Lions. You brought it up for me to hammer them.
But they won a playoff. They beat the Lions. I'm just saying, Tony Romo.
We are bringing in a Super Bowl champion and now a Fox Sports Radio NFL analyst, Will Blackman. Will, welcome to the Odd Couple.
Wow. First of all, why do you guys call it the Odd Couple? There's nothing odd about you guys.
Well, you don't know Chris.
You guys are very
it's
similar.
not us. Isn't well. Rob
you guys are very similar.
Well, you got to hear our intro. Rob's divorced. I've been married 24 years. I have children. Rob doesn't.
Chris goes to church on Sunday. I throw money at the pole late Saturday night.
Right. I'm right.
Okay, I was going to say you both like to argue. You both are bold. And you guys are very respectful with me when I see you guys.
No doubt.
So I see the similarities.
I would give you that. In those ways, we are very similar. But other than that, we are. But it's great to have you on, man. We appreciate you joining us. And, of course, you played with the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. And I don't know if I'm overstating this, but I feel like he's gotten a little more criticism than usual this offseason. People have blamed him for Mike McCarthy being fired. They've said, he always tries to make the tough throw rather than the easy one. He ad-libs a little too much. Do you think some of this criticism that's beginning to be levied at Rodgers because he hasn't really won since that Super Bowl is fair or foul?
I would say it's foul, and I think it goes all the way back to his Cal days because coming out, they were saying the same things, right? He's arrogant, he thinks this, he's cocky, his attitude. And then when he had to wait in the draft room, hey, this is going to humble a little bit. Now he has to wait behind Favre. This is going to humble him a little bit. And then he goes wins. So now all of a sudden that he's the guy again, everyone's seeing all these things. And not at all. Playing with Aaron Rodgers, it's funny because, talking to our colleague Colin, he looks at me, a Boston College guy. He goes, you're a BC guy. Aaron's a Cal guy. You guys are basically smartasses. You know what I'm saying? That's
right, because you're smart. You're intelligent.
Exactly. That's what he's saying. He's like, you guys are smart. You guys have, a certain kind of wit and dry humor about you guys. And that, sometimes people don't like it. So I think for Aaron Rodgers, he's earned the right to say these certain things. It's a grown man's sport, and he is. I mean, when you think of Green Bay, now you think of him. You know what I mean?
Doubt.
So I think it's totally it's not fair in terms of all the criticism he's getting.
How about the Cowboys? Let's switch over there. We were just talking about it. I think Jerry Jones is playing with fire. They've won like 2 playoff games in the last 25, 26 years. They got a young team together. They need their running back. Why is he playing this game instead of taking care of Ezekiel Elliott, who's done nothing but produce since he's come in the league?
I feel like they're in the process of taking care of all this, but I think he shouldn't be playing the games with the media. Like, if you're going to handle business, then go handle business, And I'm sure they are talking, and he knows what he has in Zeke Elliott. He's going to take care of him. But to bring it out there and to give us the runaround, I can barely say us. I'm one of the media guys now. Damn, that's crazy.
That is crazy. Right. You never thought that.
Oh, I know. Someone tried to get some information out of me earlier. I was like, yeah, do it. He was like, come to the dark side. I'm like, no way in hell, not yet. But yeah, just go about the business. He doesn't have to play with us and do all that crazy stuff. It's just right. It's a little too much, and it's tough because I just feel like that team is always so close, and something has to change. Something has to adjust. You know what I mean? And it is. It's like everyone likes to see them lose. It's America's team, what have you. But they're so close, and something has. I don't know what it is, but something has to change. Maybe he needs to take a step back. Maybe someone else needs to come in and help out. We can't always look at – I know everyone does look at Jason Garrett, but there's other parts in that entire building to make that work. And being fortunate where I was in Green Bay and I seen what it looks like today. I was in New York on the Giants and saw what it looks like today. I had a chance – I was in training camp with Seattle. But once again, I saw what it looked like today, and it's a collective effort, everybody having a piece inside the entire building, not just one man who's in every single meeting and controlling everything. And I feel like everyone's walking on eggshells, despite, he's taking care of them with a nice new building, uniform, all that stuff. But just from a manager standpoint, something else is going on.
It's Will Blackman, Super Bowl champion, joining the Odd Couple. Will, let's say if Tony Pollard and Alfred Morris, let's say they can combine to produce the same numbers as Zeke, 1,600 yards or whatever it may be. Is there a difference, though, between Zeke's 1,600 and Tony Pollard's, or both of them? You know what I mean? Combined Pollard and Morris. Like, even if the numbers are similar, is it still different? You could even go with James Conner and Le'Veon Bell. Because Conner put up great numbers, but
they didn't make the playoffs, though.
I mean, not even dealing with that. But seriously, like, is there a difference You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I know Chris is saying. He's not saying that he's just comparing when Le'Veon was out. The James Connors mean the same. And obviously, they missed the playoffs. So, right, it wasn't as effective in terms of it helped the team sustain, but it didn't help the team. It didn't make the team that much better. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I agree. That's the problem.
But I mean, like
it.
Just because a guy duplicates somebody's numbers doesn't mean he's quite as effective. Correct?
Right. Yeah, it doesn't, because it changes the whole defensive mindset. Like playing against the Cowboys when I was on the Redskins, is like we looked across. It was like, okay, we got to stop Zeke, and that changed our whole game plan. Now it's almost like, okay, you might play certain players. Like in basketball, when you play Houston Rockets, you're going to let Harden drive to the hole. Just let him. Let him do that. If he drives to the hole and he's going to score, on us, fine. But if we leave him wide open outside the three, he's going to knock us down. So if he scores 20 and he keeps turning the ball over and he's scoring points too, then we'll take that. Let him do his thing. Don't let the whole team beat us. So in case like with Zeke, it's like, yeah, Zeke will get 120 yards, but it's like 120 yards that are crucial. It might be like a 3rd and 10. He might get a screen pass. It might be short yardage, and he takes it, 50 yards for a touchdown. Where it's like, you're going to play these guys now. Okay, yeah, you want to stop the run, but you're not afraid of them hurting you. So let's stop Amari Cooper. Let's stop, Jason Witten. Let's stop these other guys. You know what I'm saying? Let's make Dak beat us.
Right.
There was a poll that came out that says Tom Brady's the most marketable player in the NFL. Is it based on just him winning? Because it can't be personality. He's an aw shucks, gee whiz guy who never says anything, does he?
He was. It's funny because I was like, Tom Brady is obviously extremely popular and marketable, but ever since your man made that catch in OBJ, I still think he is the NFL's biggest rock star.
No doubt.
He's the NFL's biggest rock star by far. And he made speaking of marketing, he made a huge marketing move when he cut his hair. Because now I'm sure he's going to try to get involved in other stuff. Maybe he might get a modeling contract. Maybe he might do some movies. Maybe he might do other stuff. So I think he's still the rock star. I remember when we played the Giants. They came when I was on the Redskins. They came to DC, and I went to their hotel because I was friends with some of them since I played there. I was hanging out with Antrell Rowe, and I remember OBJ, like there was this huge crowd, a huge wait. There was like probably 6 bodyguards around OBJ at the hotel just so he can go outside and make a phone call. I was like, Antrell, I was like, what is this? He was like, honestly, he said, this is not like OBJ trying to be cool. Like, Odell needs this. Like, he needs the security. Because all the guys want to hang out with him, all the girls want to hang out with him, all the parents, everyone wants to hang out with him.
Right.
And that's just how it was.
No, I agree.
It's Will Blackman, Super Bowl champ. Will, great stuff. And keep up the great work on the radio, man. You're doing fabulous.
I'm trying, bro. I'm having a good time. Steve Hartman, I just give him a hard time. Appreciate you guys.
And we need to go get wings pretty soon, okay?
Hey, listen. Do you like wine, Rob?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Follow my page, NFL Wine Guy. That is
really?
me.
Okay.
At NFL Wine Guy. That is me.
So you're a connoisseur.
I'm legit. I have a certification, level 2. I will talk to you guys about it.
All right, we'll do
now,
that.
LeBron is a wine guy. You ever dealt with him with that?
I haven't dealt with LeBron. LeBron, he's interesting.
LeBron James.
Oh, God.
let me ask you this. Would you ever walk onto the sideline at a game with wine?
If I could,
arena, into the field?
If I could, I would. I actually I would have drink a bunch of wine the night before games. That's another story.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we will get to that story next time we have you on for sure.
All right.
All right, Will. Great stuff,
Appreciate
man.
I appreciate you guys.